Well, let's start with, let's get to the Obama vice presidential sweepstakes. Let's go to that right away because it just happened. Joe Biden being touted as the favorite. Here's the latest development.
I'm not the guy. See it.
You know that for sure?
Not the guy, Joe Biden. Tom, what do you think that means to Barack Obama's chances?
Well, he definitely, Lou, he needs someone. Remember when the word gravitas was in the last election?
Oh, that's right. I forgot that word.
They've kind of abandoned that. Barack Obama, on the most important issue to all of us, our national security and foreign relations, he has none. He showed that in Georgia when the Russians were guilty of naked aggression. That was silly to go to the UN. He is going to face a major, or the next president will, with the communist Chinese. They are the butchers of Beijing, not these people we've seen in all this propaganda for the last couple of weeks. And Barack Obama is in over his head. So he's going to need a Biden-like person with him on the ticket. Even more so than the red and the blue, it's very important that he have someone strong in the area or perceived strong in national security.
What do you think, Chris?
Lou, I'd like to say they're that thoughtful about it. I think they need somebody to pop. A Biden, a Bai, a Nunn, a Kane. None of these people pop. You know what I mean? And after a couple of weeks...
Well, I do now, but I was kind of wondering about that for a second.
Well, you know, none of them seem anymore to, none of the four, at least those four. Senator Claire McCaskill on my show, one of Obama's chief surrogates, and flirted for a time as a VP herself. She mentioned those this morning on my show, but I got to tell you, none of those do it. I mean, if he wants to get back in the limelight and make that, I don't mean to black helicopter you, Lou, but I still think Hillary's an outside shot. I do.
My goodness.
I do.
Oh my goodness.
John Gambling is over here having fits, John.
Yeah. Well, I certainly don't believe Hillary Clinton is a viable candidate for the vice presidency. I don't think Barack Obama needs her anywhere near his presidency. But I will agree with Chris that all of the names that have been thrown out and are being speculated about on the Democratic side, I agree, do not have the gravitas that was mentioned before. Barack Obama needs somebody, but I think both of these candidates, McCain and Obama, need somebody, in my view, that can deal with the economy, because the economy, as Pat Choate was just talking about, you know, neither one of these guys have the info and the experience when it comes to the economy, which is the #1 issue.
It isn't. Go ahead.
That's a great point that he makes about the economy and being able to deal with it. And but even before that is national security. So I think you need a combination of both. Right now, there isn't anybody that really grabs what Barack Obama needs. He needs someone with credibility in foreign policy and on the economy, and I just don't see it there in the names we're hearing.
Well, Chris, I can't even think, you know, there's a lot of discussion about Tom Ridge, who I've known for a long time, who's a wonderful public servant, but he is absolutely anathema to the base of the Republican Party. The idea that it would be Joe Lieberman, also, one can see a great deal of problems with that.
Yeah, that's a disaster. I actually floated that one out too. That's a pop factor. Again, I'd love to believe that all the time it's always about who brings the most credibility on a subject matter with these gentlemen. But at the end of the day, this is showmanship, Lou. You know this. They need attention. They want headlines. And right now, John McCain needs someone to grab the headlines. That's why that Lieberman factor could be real. But I think at the end of the day, if he'll miss the boat if he doesn't pander to the conservative vote. You know,
you mentioned on your show today, Chris, someone, Claire McCaskill, Senator McCaskill. What about her?
What, for McCain or Obama? McCain?
I would recommend that she stay on the party.
Well, you know, I think she'd do it. In fact, she has said before, I'll be one of the few people that won't be coy. I'd be honored to be asked. But she said definitively no. She also said, by the way, definitively no on Hillary. But she would not rule out Kathleen Sebelius of Kansas, our neighboring state here.
That's an interesting one. Sebelius is a very interesting one. But I agree with you on Ridge and Lieberman. No way. I think Mitt Romney is McCain's guy. Again, I go back to my economy. He's attractive. He brings a younger vision to John McCain, which has the age issue going for him or against him. And so I think that's a viable candidate.
I agree with John 100% on that. I think Tom Ridge would make a great president of Penn State but not the United States. I'm serious about that. He was he did not back the Strategic Defense Initiative. He was against our key weapon system. He has a tendency to stumble. He wasn't impressive as Homeland Security Chief. It would be an absolute disaster. Romney lives in, we're in a video democracy, Lou, and George Romney also has the ability to be a juggler candidate. Somebody's got to go after Barack's juggler, and Romney can do it with a smile and help us with our economy as well.
Well, I wish somebody would help us with the economy. You know, we're in sort of an interesting position here, if not frightening position, in which we've got John McCain saying he doesn't understand the economy, and Obama sort of demonstrating that he doesn't understand the economy. Both of these candidates desperately need, I think John's exactly right. I agree with you, Tom. We need some help in terms of domestic policy.
And Lou, may I point out that today, what are we talking about? What is this entire segment about? This possibility that Obama picks a VP tomorrow, as early as tomorrow. That's been floated out purposely. Claire McCaskill said there's no intention of him landing on a VP pick this week, in her opinion. We're talking about this because they'd like us to be talking about this rather than Saddleback.
Well, you know what? That's because the national media, as I've been saying for literally months here, is in the tank for Barack Obama. Now I've got, by the way, now, folks, we have documented proof. We have the Washington Post to back me up on this. Next will come the New York Times.
Right.
But the Washington Post, 3-1, acknowledging 3-1 the number of times that they have kept Barack Obama on their front pages over Senator McCain. I mean, it's extraordinary. Now, we've got this new poll out from the LA Times and Bloomberg showing an absolute dead heat between Obama and McCain. I want, if we could, I asked them to put up a full screen of just exactly how they opened their lead paragraph here. And remember what I said about in the tank for Obama. Here's the way it goes. Barack Obama's public image has eroded this summer amid a daily onslaught of attacks from Republican rival John McCain, leaving the race for the White House statistically tied. Did somebody bury the lead, for crying out loud? I mean, the Los Angeles Times is in all sorts of trouble, but when its editors permit that kind of nonsense, I don't want to hear from the LA Times about objective journalism.
The Democratic go ahead, I'm sorry.
There's very little objective journalism from the three major networks. In fact, from this network too, CNN. It's just not there.
Did Tom mention CNN?
Yes, I did. They're so far in the tank.
I'm sure.
They're so far in the tank for Barack Obama. It's obvious in their work, but it's not going to work with the American people over the long haul. This guy is hopeless without a prompter. He's not going to have one. He's not going to have people in his ear telling him what to say.
You do acknowledge that John McCain, in nearly every piece of video, and by the way, Tom, I'm not sure I agree with you about this being a video society. I'm kind of like you fellas. I think it's a big audio society too. But I mean, every time McCain's got a card as well.
Well, he does. In fact,
which may be a smart thing to do.
A piece you showed earlier about him being out on the drilling rig, there he had all the perfect pictures and he's reading off a card. But the Democrats are apoplectic. They have all of the networks in the tank for them, and Barack Obama still can't get any traction.
But Lou, look where he's played so well. Well, look when he's done very well. He's done exceptionally well at Saddleback over the weekend. He's done exceptionally well with the veterans when he speaks from the hip. This is local media too, by the way. When they come through the Show Me State and they want this state bad, you wouldn't believe the local media coverage in the tank in a big way for Obama.
Really?
Oh,
my gosh.
Listen, in the state I'm from, in Pennsylvania, and in New Jersey, New York, all of them, in the Baltimore Sun, the Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, I can run up the coast. They're so far in the tank you can't find them. But in the long run, I think we're going to see a different campaign, and that's why you need a Romney to go after Barack's jugular. It'll be hard for NBC to report it, but they'll have to.
You and John are pushing your candidates here tonight. Chris is not settled on McCaskill, so we'll come back and take a new vote here later. So very much, thank you very much for being with us. Chris Stigall, thank you very much. Tom, thank you very much. Tom Warren. And John Gambling, thank you, sir.
Always enjoy it. Thanks, Lou.
Thanks for being here.